It is 11:30. I'm headed to Jardin de Acclimatation. No idea how to pronounce that. Probably nowhere close to being right, but it's about 20 miles away from Charles de Gaulle here, about 35 minutes. Should be getting there close to noon to at least the parking that I picked out. Parking is kind of a bit of an issue there in that area, so hopefully I find the right parking. Alright, let's kick off this trip. Park number 1 of 2 for the day before heading over to Europa Park. So let's head down to Jardin de Acclimatation. See Pikachu kind of made the journey. He's just down there. a little hidey hole. 12 miles, 25 minutes to Jardin de Acclimatation, or at least the parking garage that I'm parking at, which I think is still like a 10-minute walk. So let's start this trip off right. Hey guys, Theme Park Mark here. This is the start of an epic 3-week trip to Europe, and I started here in Paris. I'm actually in a parking garage right now, near the first park of this trip, and that is Jardin de Acclimatation. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not. And it's going to be the first of many things that I'm going to mispronunciate on this trip, I'm sure. But yeah, there's I think 3 or 4 coasters here to check out. In a parking garage that I picked out that was somewhat near the park. So it's a little bit of a walk, and I got to find my way over to it. So I'm going to do just that. I think there's about 3 or 4 coasters here. And then there's another park that I'm going to be going to later on today, and that's on the north side of Paris. It's actually up by Park Asterix. It's called Merdesable, and they have a new GCI coaster there that opened last year. So I'm going to check that out as well. So excited to take you guys along with me for the ride as always. Let's giddy up. What am I walking on here? This doesn't feel safe. I parked here at the Palais des Congrès, and I'm headed towards Jardin de Acclimatation, which according to Google Maps is in this general direction. So I'm gonna keep walking that way until I find some coasters. I started crossing the street and look what it is, the Arc de Triomphe. I've been up in that before. Not on this trip, but yeah, on a previous trip. Way back when. So that's kind of funny. I was like having to turn to look. I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the Arc de Triomphe? Yes, it is. Anyway, still continuing on. Alright, there's the first sign I found. Someone getting honked at. I want to head across the street, and I think it's down this way. Alright, found my way to the main entrance. Let's head on in. See if I can get all the coasters in today. They have a nice train. Looks like it goes outside the park. And we are in. So got my ticket ahead of time, scanned the barcode, got my wristband, so it should be unlimited rides here. Just gotta find the coasters. Probably just gonna wander around for a little bit until I come across one. I actually got a beverage, so I'm gonna enjoy that while I kind of just walk around and see what there's to see. I know there's a map over here. I'm not gonna look yet. There are 4 coasters that are on my checklist, so I'll just work through them. If I do get lost, maybe I can pull up a map. I can probably do it online. For now, I'm just gonna walk around and enjoy Jardin de Acclimatation, park number 1 on this trip. Alright, I have spotted a coaster, so I'm gonna find where it is. Looks like a spinning coaster, maybe? Hard to tell from here, but I'm gonna go find it. Okay, not a spinning coaster. It looks like a bobsled coaster. Les Speed Rockets. So let's have a ride on this. Alright, that was the Speed Rockets, which I think is 684 for me. It's a Gerstlauer bobsled coaster. It's good fun. Wasn't too janky at all, and it was actually very smooth. Had 2 lift hills as well. It's a nice little bonus. It's a good little family ride. Continue on, I do see a actual spinning coaster back here. So I'm gonna have a ride on that if I can find the entrance. Gentle. Okay. Okay, not so bad. And we're spinning. Alright, that was a Reverchon spinning wild mouse. Something Mécaniques. I'm going to try to pronounce that one. It wasn't too bad at all, though. Got a little bit of spinning there towards the end, and didn't bother me too much. You see this wave swinger here, I'm very, very tempted to ride that. I do want to find the other 2 coasters. I know there's one, I saw one over here. I kind of walked by, so I'm going to go take a look at it. And maybe I'll have a ride on the wave swinger. And here's the coaster I was checking out here. It's called La Machine à Vapeur. It is definitely closed, chained off. I actually had it on my checklist as SBNO question mark, because I think it was listed as SBNO on our CDB. Yeah, it's definitely not operating today, or right now anyway. I'm gonna try and find the other 2 coasters that are on my checklist. I've wandered into a Chinese themed area. This is interesting. I did see Dragon. I think it's, I don't know if you can see that. It's the red coaster track there. So that's where I'm headed. Just kind of wandering around, checking out the park. This is a very, very beautiful park. And it is perfect for families, or if you just want to get coaster credits like me. There's 4 of them currently. We got a nice little pagoda here. Looks like some paddle boats on the lake there. It's very beautiful. All right, I hear coaster noises. Pretty sure it's that Dragon coaster, so I gotta stay on task here. I get distracted very easily. Alright, it is called Défi du Dragon, and it just opened last year. Gerstlauer family launch coaster. So let's have a ride on this. There's a station. Alright, let's go for a back row ride. Row 8. Le Défi du Dragon. Coaster credit 686, and that was surprisingly very good. Has a nice little turntable section too, where you kind of go backwards a little bit. That was a lot of fun. I think that was easily the best coaster here. There's one more to get as a wacky worm. I might do that and then come back for one more ride on this. That was very enjoyable. All right, I found the last of the 4 operating coasters here. It's a little wacky worm called Fort de Pirates. A little pirate themed wacky worm. Interesting. Let's have a ride on this. Alright, 2-lap special there on the wacky worm that is pirate themed, actually very nicely themed. Alright, so that is all 4 operational coasters done. I'm gonna have another ride on the dragon coaster. I'll do the wave swinger, kind of walk around the park a little bit, and then I gotta bolt because I gotta go up to Merdesable next. So the trek continues. So with all 4 coaster credits done in the park, I'm at 687 total. Should be getting 700 on this trip pretty easily, probably even 750. So the road to 1,000 continues. I do want to have another ride on this best coaster in the park here, the dragon coaster. Not even gonna try to pronounce the name because I already forgot it. Something dragon. Let's have another ride. Alright, so just got a second back row ride. It's just kind of luck of the draw on like which rows you get. They do let you pick, it's just they kind of let groups in at a time. And of course everybody in front of me kind of runs up to the front, so I'll take the back, sure. As I was riding it the second time, I was like, wait a minute, weren't we facing the other way on the last one? I think it alternates between forwards and backwards on that second launch after the turntable, because I just did that forwards, and then this train here, the one after me, went backwards. So that's interesting. Either it's random or it alternates, I don't know, but it is different for sure. At first I wasn't sure if I was just too tired because of a long flight. I just didn't, maybe I was misremembering things. No, but I'm pretty sure it goes in different directions here. So that's kind of cool. It's got 2 rides there on that. So up next, I'm gonna head back towards the wave swinger, which is back in this direction. Beautiful little garden area, and it looks like there's a little aviary over here. Go check out some of these birds and head back to the wave swinger. Obviously, there's a lot more to this park than just the coasters. I try to cram as much as I possibly can into these trips, so I still have another theme park to go to today, and it's a bit of a trek, so I'm trying to get out here pretty soon, but I'm also trying to soak it in here and enjoy the park a bit too. It's a nice little ride on the wave swinger, right across from the spinning coaster. It is now 2:30 and Merdesable closes at 6, so I really should get going, but I'm loving this park. Maybe I'll be back in the future, especially if we get this other coaster back up and running again. And yeah, very much enjoyed my visit here, the Jardin de Acclimatation. Walk around a little bit more, then head back out where I came in is probably the best way to go to get back to the parking where it's over by the Arc de Triomphe. By the way, the weather absolutely perfect right now. A big cloud came in covering the sun, and it's probably about like 60 something degrees right now, maybe in the 70s. It was a little bit warmer when the sun was out, but that wave swinger ride is very pleasant with the cloud cover. Hopefully the weather holds up to this trip. I mean, you guys know my luck. Theme park mark weather could rear its ugly head at any moment. But for now, it's solid. Cause I still feel the same. Yes, I still feel the same. I still feel the same. Goldfinger. Alright, it is 3 o'clock, 3:10 actually. about 15 miles from Mer De Sable. We're getting there about 3:30. They close at 6. I don't know if I'm going to stay all the way to 6 because I got a long drive to Europa Park tomorrow, or tonight actually. Or maybe I will stay to 6 just to make sure I get all the credits. I don't know. The initial plan was to go to Europa Park today. That was if I was going to have I was assuming I was going to have a season pass renewed at that point. I had a season pass a couple years ago and thought I would renew it for this trip. And yeah, I checked about like 2 months ago and they were not offering season passes anymore or renewals. So I kept checking, all for the last couple months, and they never opened up. So I ended up getting two-day tickets to Europa instead of a season pass. So that left this first day open. I thought, well, I'm flying into Paris. Might as well go to a couple new parks that I haven't been to, or new parks to me that I have not been to. And so yeah, did Jardin earlier, and now I'm headed to Mer De Sable before making the drive this evening to Rust, Germany, and Europa Park for tomorrow. I'm just using a Spotify DJ. I just started playing this. Not in Germany yet. Still in France. 6 minutes away from La Mer De Sable. It's just been like open fields out here since. It's up by Park Asterix. It's actually pretty close to it, which I will be going to, I think next week, early next week, because I love that park. Gotta get more rides on Bandidos, but not today. Today is a GCI. Alright, just like that, made it to Mer De Sable. Park number 2 for the day. Have a couple hours until they close. Did get a ticket online ahead of time, so I should be able to just scan in and get going. Let's check out the park. Not sure how many coasters there are. I have to check my checklist. I think it's like maybe 3 or 4, but I'll take a look. Alright, let's head on in. Mer De Sable. Welcome to an American West themed theme park in France. I think I'm gonna head to this orange coaster first. I'm just gonna try and knock out as many of the credits as I can. The line looks pretty long for it though. Yeah, I think I'll try it. Bandidos looks like. So let's have a ride on that. Alright, it looks like an SBF Visa spinner, and it looks like a pretty long line out the entrance here. So I think I'll come back to it in a little bit. I kind of want to find the GCI first. Alright, I see it. GCI called Wild Buffalo. Opened last year. I'm gonna go find the entrance. This is gonna be me tonight after a 10-hour flight out here to Europe and 2 theme parks in one day and a long drive to Europa Park. That'll be me. Alright, let's go for a Road 5 ride, Wild Buffalo. wildbuffalo. Waited about an hour for it. Ouch. It was a busy day. We're running one train. I did see the second train in the shed. They didn't bring it out. Gotta get that second train out. As far as the ride itself, it's a solid GCI. Family coaster. I think more along the lines of Invader. It's very smooth. Comfortable. I think there's Millennium Flyer trains, if I'm not mistaken. Got row 5. Obviously not picking the rows. Just get assigned them. And yeah, that's kind of disappointing after an hour wait because the line is kind of like out the entrance. You're only running one train. But yeah, it's definitely a solid family GCI. I would ride it again if the line were a lot shorter, but it is not. I got 3 other coasters to find. Well, 2 to find. I had one at the front of the park that I skipped. So I think I'll go to those. Running out of time here. I only have, I think, about an hour and 15 minutes left. So we'll see what we can squeeze in. Wild Buffalo is a solid ride. Looks like there'll be a rodeo here, I think. This is bizarre seeing this growing up in Arizona. I do see the Wild Mouse there, so that is one coaster, and I did see a junior coaster back here. So that's where I'm headed next. See if I can squeeze in at least these 2, and we'll take a look. You're gonna have to miss the rodeo though. This is the Tombstone. Nice try, France. I've actually been to Tombstone a few times. Right after a hike up a hill, there's a Vekoma Junior coaster here, Silver Mountain. Let's have a ride, hopefully not too long of a wait. Let's go for a front row ride on Silver Mountain. Front row there on the Vekoma Junior coaster, Silver Mountain. Yeah, it was good. It was decent. Had some kick to it too. Pretty forceful in the corners and in the helix. It's actually very good. It was there, so I have about an hour left before the park closes. I'm gonna head to the Wild Mouse next. Just thankfully, I only waited about 15 minutes there for the Vekoma Junior coaster. Operations are pretty fast. It's just like you know, on Wild Buffalo there, GCI should be running 2 trains. So that is a very long line. This one wasn't so bad. As we saw, the SPF Visa also had a very long line, but that can only run 1 train. But that tells me that this park probably needs more attractions for the crowds that it's getting. I'm heading in the general direction of the Wild Mouse. I hope this is the right way. That's coming up next. Most certainly was not the right way. Get to walk by the teepees again and the saloon here. It's definitely surreal being here after growing up in the West. But it looks like the way to the Wild Mouse, I think, is down and around, maybe past by where the rodeo is. I'm not sure. But it's kind of dead ends up here. Time for a mock Wild Mouse called Tiger Express. Let's have a ride. Go easy. Tiger Express, Mock Wild Mouse. Bet you guys can tell how much I love these. That one actually wasn't that bad at all. Had to brace myself a little bit on a couple of the turns, but it wasn't too jolty. Big drop there too, and I was expecting my knees to get slammed up against the front of the car, but it actually didn't. I was actually quite comfortable through most of the ride. There was just one big trim break right there. That was probably the worst part. All right, running out of time. I have about, I think, 20 minutes left. I'm gonna head back up to the front of the park for that SPF Visa. See if we can get all 4 credits here today. Yeah, I'm probably not showing off the park enough, but this is a beautiful park. A lot of wonderful theming to it, actually, as you would expect from a European theme park. Yeah, they've done a great job here. I do feel like there's probably a few more rides that they need to soak up some of the capacity a little bit better. All right, I made my way back to the front of the park in the SPF Visa here, Bandidos. Just gonna head on over there and have a ride. Yeah, I think I made the right choice on this one. You know that long line out the entrance? Yeah, not there anymore. Looks like it's gonna be a much shorter wait. Let's get the last of the 4 credits here. Bandidos. Oh, don't spin much. Pretty mild ride on the SPF Visa to finish off the day here at the Mer De Sable. You see there's a lot of open land out here. Back out behind Wildbuffalo and this coaster. I wonder if that's theirs. They're going to develop a little bit more. I do feel like this park does need a few more attractions for the crowd that it was getting today. Maybe it's one of the busiest days. I don't know. It's a nice day out. It's Saturday. I'm sure. I'm gonna hit the gift shop and then I'll wrap up this vlog. Alright, magnet obtained. Now I'll wrap things up here from day 1 of this European trip. I'm gonna head to Europa Park next, but yeah, so it was a pretty darn good day. The only kind of negative I'd say would be that 1 hour wait for Wild Buffalo there. Would have liked to get a couple rides on it, but oh well, not the end of the world. It's just family GCI. But that was probably the best coaster of the day, although I did love that dragon one at Jardin de Acclimatation. 2 very different parks today. Wild West themed. And then, yeah, and like another park in downtown Paris. But yeah, got 8 coaster credits. Definitely a successful day. So, thanks so much guys for watching as always. Up next, in the next vlog, number 2 from this trip, it's gonna be Europa Park in Germany. Probably do a couple of vlogs from that park, so stay tuned for that. So with that, signing off from the convoluted parking lot here in Mer De Sable. Take care guys. France, you're beautiful.